Hi guys, welcome back. All right, so Geminis, thank you so much for being here. Gems, you guys got a little shortchanged on Sunday night, and then Monday I didn't get to do any zodiacs, so you guys got pushed all the way till Tuesday, and I apologize for that. I had a dental appointment that swelled me up pretty bad last night. So anyway, all is well now, and I'm just a little puffy still, but it's much better. So let's get into this. But because you guys missed out on your Sunday video, I want to like merge this and not miss out on Sundays. Kind of, you know how I like to choose kind of like topics almost, usually associated with the backdrops. So we're going to pick up our Sunday storyline, and then we'll also go with our topic for today. So Sunday's storyline had more to do with like the message from the 5D realm. And so we're going to start out with that deck that I used for everybody else, just so you guys don't get cheated out of that. I did this for ophiuchus too. You guys were my last two zodiacs that missed out on your final one from Sunday. So we have end of the earth, we have time capsule, we have listen, and we have tipping the scales. Boy, glad we didn't miss out on the 5D message, because we've got some pretty momentous things. So the energy of the 5D to me is like, the thoughts that are there, the energy field that is there. Sometimes it's the space that we connect to individuals that we aren't necessarily always speaking to, but we feel their presence anyway. That can be the ancestors that are on the other side of the rainbow bridge. That can be the universe, or that can be somebody in our 3D world, but we have not connected with them or communicated with them. So the 5D is kind of like the ethereal energy flow that our energy is a part of also, but sometimes we don't like necessarily consciously tap into it, but it's there anyway, versus the 3D world where, it's the touch, the taste, we're driving around our little meat suits here in the 3D world. The fact that the message from the 5D is end of the earth combined with time capsule. This is like the end of an epoch. This is not the end of the earth. It's more the end of, like, we've come to a point of change. We've come to a point where it's like this truth can no longer be hidden in the subconscious, nor tucked away somewhere, hidden behind one of the planets up in the cosmos, the 5D realm. We can't tuck it away anymore. It's I'm not going to say coming back to haunt us. It's that there is something, a memory that has been stored, an old connection that has been still remaining, and we haven't dealt with it in a long time, but our Gemini is being gently encouraged to listen to the message from some memory that's been stored somewhere in that ethereal plane, somewhere that is still part of, it's kind of like our little storage unit. And sometimes we forget what cool furniture we left tucked in our storage unit, and we're going to visit it. And it's like, oh, wow, I forgot I had all this cool stuff. It's like, listen to the messages. Remember what stuff we still have in storage, because it's good stuff. Tipping the scales, remembering a message might be enough for our character to be like, oh, wow, I had no idea that I would look at that differently now. Sometimes stuff we don't value on the day-to-day, when we unearth it again, we go, oh, wow, I totally love that. In fact, why was I indifferent to something once upon a time? I keep wanting to use the analogy of a storage unit that you forgot that you had some really crazy, awesome looking carved lamp. Maybe it's an antique. And when you had it, you're just like, oh, it doesn't belong in my house. I'm just going to put it in storage. And then one day you go there and you look and you go, this is a masterpiece. This is beautiful. This is so valuable. Why did I think it should be tucked away instead of looked at and celebrated? This is beautiful. It feels really positive. Now, if this is a memory of, say, a conversation or a person that Gemini dealt with, readdressing the memory of this person, or readdressing a connection, or being able to now go back in time into the storage unit of our mind and maybe reread an old text or remember the words somebody said and say, oh my God, it hits different now. Oh, wow. Actually, it took the sting out. Maybe I was really mad at that person. And now I completely read it different. I hear it different. I see it different. And it rebalances the scales. It tips the scales in their favor this time. Now, the alternate could be true also. It could be that, wait a minute, why did I think that person was awesome? That was really super sucky. I kind of knew it at the time, but now I really know it. It could be that, but I don't think so. I think this is going to be very healing. I think the message from, because I don't really think that the stuff that we store that the universe wants us to readdress is like, hey, get really pissed about this thing. I'm going to remind you of it, and then get really angry about it. Like that just doesn't feel like a good use of any character's energy. So I doubt the universe like encourages us to get all riled up. That's just the way I look at that. EM with Juno Wild, so great to see you. Hi, E. Hasterbeek. Thank you so much for being here, love. We've got the Hierophant. Wow. There's a lot of either um, forgiveness, comprehension, really connecting to one's higher self, really seeing things from a higher perspective, really knowing that a choice that Gemini made might have been the best choice at that point in time. This could have been a choice they made about a marriage or a connection of sorts. This could also be that they're realizing, you know what, through it all, that person was the right person for me, at least for those experiences. There is something here where they're getting, I feel like this is all very much higher self perspective. And I think it's, they're right where they're supposed to be. The message from the 5D realm is that Gemini is right where they're supposed to be. Whatever experiences they already had, whatever they already went through with a certain person. Let's say they did marry someone, and let's say not everything works out, but on the other hand, sometimes it not working out was exactly the way it was supposed to work out. It's like, hey, that person unlocked a part of me because of the experience I had with them. I never would be the person I am today had I not met them. They really helped me uncover some aspects about myself. And right now, who I am today, I love who I am and where I am today. I feel like I'm very spiritual. I feel like I'm very attuned. I feel like I'm the real version of me. And so, whatever got me to become the real version of me that I am today, that process was necessary. That's what I feel the message is. It's more reflective of, I can see it different. And it might be because Gemini's having a particularly awesome moment in their life. And that could be the thing where they go, wow, this is so crazy. But I remember the only reason I'm where I am today is because of this other huge experience that I had. And maybe it was tough, and maybe it put me through a lot. But I remember, like a time capsule, I remember all these things. And now I understand why this all happened. And I remember, and now it tips the scales where I can be thankful for the experience that I had. Maybe I couldn't be thankful at the time, but I can be today. That's a beautiful energy. And it just, I feel um, like all this heavy stuff just rolled off of Gemini's back, or like the idea of like ice cubes just melting and just slipping off of our character's back, or even like, when a gigantic iceberg like calves, like I'm picturing that too, like big monumental motion sliding. Okay, so we're going to leave that part, and now let's go into the storytelling for this particular backdrop, which is all about like listening to one's inner North Star. Which direction is a character heading, either internally or externally? We have cleaning house, we have talisman, we have one ring circus, we have magic stream. I gotta say, all of this kind of fits together to me. This looks like Gemini is on a new path, a new pattern. I feel like they're leaving every old thing behind. Talk about cleaning out storage or readdressing things in storage and finding out what we keep and what we let go of. This feels like I'm really like, maybe they're moving, maybe they're going to be cleaning out their house, or they're cleaning up an office space in their house, or the den, or something where it's like I'm moving out all this old furniture, and maybe taking off old wallpaper, or I'm going through my phone and deleting old contacts, or I'm cleaning house. Can be cleaning the mind, it can be cleaning like the physical body, like maybe somebody's doing a detox or a cleanse or starting to eat cleaner. Maybe it's all of the above. Maybe they're literally going through and, donating old clothes that they don't need, or lightening their load, simplifying their life. But I get more of the impression that it's more like there's a bunch of stuff Gemini just, it doesn't belong in their life for where their life is going. So they are literally cleaning out old contacts and older things that don't have a place in their mindset anymore. I think they're traveling light down this new path, and there's a real connection to spiritual things. Maybe our character literally is, a talisman is kind of like um, an item that is like a magical item that possesses some kind of protective energy or good fortune, good luck. And we see a lot of different symbols of that. She's carrying kind of um, like a little glowing, we could call it a crystal or something along those lines. She actually has some sacred geometry tattooed on the back of her shoulder blade that you can't really see. She's got like a little dragon riding around on her forearm. She stands on a rune, excuse me, and her other foot is on the yin yang symbol. So in this case, it's kind of like referencing that talismans can be many different like magical objects or images of, balance, protection, harmony, just things that would be very supportive, very protective. To me, it feels like where our character is going, they're looking closely for the signs and symbols that mark the way on this path forward. They've cleaned out their house, they've cleaned out their energetic field, their aura is clean. They're really focused. I think this Gemini is really focused on only going toward things where it's like clearly marked, this is on my correct path. This is the pathway toward more enlightenment. This is the pathway that, my angel guides are protecting me, or, whatever they may believe in. Literally, this Gemini could have something. I'm rubbing my fingers together like like a worry stone, or like a rosary bead, or something that might be small, but they think of it as like a good luck charm of some sort. This is card 49, and for some reason I look at that more as an age than like a date, or like a license plate number. It could be something along those lines. I'm also seeing it in my mind's eye painted above like on a brick building, like it's number 49, but it's like a shop, not a house that somebody would be going into. Maybe they're going to go buy something. Maybe the 49ers are their good luck charm. I don't know. I'm not a football fan, but I do know that the 49ers are football. I don't know anything about football. I've never seen a game, but in my imagery, it's more like somebody walks into a shop that has like a brick building front, and maybe that's where they're purchasing something, or they feel compelled to go into a place because it's part of their path. It's something they're intrigued to look at or to connect with. It's all about the protection on their pathway forward. But I will say for this Gemini, the big thing here is they are kind of getting on like a spiritual vibe right now, but it's very much they're only going to do the stuff that they care to do right now. The One Ring Circus is, I'm making all my own choices. I'm making all my own decisions. I'm going places I need to go, and I'm on this magical pathway, and I trust that I'm, kind of like leaf on a river. I'm going down the path that I sense is right for me. It's not a path that brings a bunch of my past with me. It's not a pathway that is something anybody else will necessarily understand. It's just my path that I need to take. Something's biting me right under my necklace. Okay, tell me a little bit more about this, because our Gemini actually, let's go with this deck. Since it got magical stream, let's go with a more magical deck. Where is Gemini headed then? We can see that they're doing their thing. We got a King of Cups in the reverse. Well, it does not look like they are going toward anyone that's going to be like emotionally stunted. We have a Two of Pentacles. It's interesting because I almost feel like the reason they're saying I need my little protection, my talismans, and I'm kind of intending to go single and solo. I don't think this is a character who wants a partnership right now. And I think if anything, maybe the reason I thought of football is because right now I'm imagining somebody like running. I don't know what like title that person has in the game. The fastest runner, I know they have a name, but I'm picturing somebody like with the ball, and they're running and they're dodging as everybody's trying to tackle them. Quarterback, right? Isn't that a quarterback? Sorry, I'm so sorry. I'm genuinely that ignorant about football, but I'm pretty sure it's a quarterback. um this image of them like dodging. Ooh, this person's emotionally like greedy, and they're going to try to latch on to me. I'm going to dodge out of the way. This person could have some other toxicity, even though we get along in certain ways. I don't want them latching on to me because I'm doing my one ring circus right now. I feel like this Gemini is like dodge, fake, spin around, and stay out of everybody's grasp because they don't want. This is half poisonous mushroom, half yummy mushroom, which doesn't exist in nature, right? It's either poison and don't touch it, or it's edible. But in this case, I feel like Gemini says, I can appreciate people in my life that I can share, some like minded ideas with, but I'm not going to deal with too closely anyway with a person who I can already see is stingy with their emotions, or is somebody that would try to grab a hold of me and, you know, want it to be their way or the highway. I'm not going to deal with that. I don't deal I'm not letting anybody else grab and latch on to me. I'm cleaning my closet. I'm doing my own thing. There is some King of Cups out there, maybe a water sign, who could be very attracted to our Gemini, and Geminis really having none of it. And they could do a guilt trip with the Five of Pentacles. You're leaving me out in the cold. I'm so sad. And it's like, well, the thing is, Gemini is saying, but I'm on a path of my own. I don't have to give to somebody. Even if you want from me, it doesn't mean you get to have my energy. Three of Swords is in the reverse and the Empress is upright. I kind of got to say, I think that this Gemini is kind of putting them in their place too and saying, it's not the end of the world. I can like you, but we're not compatible. You're going to have to just deal with that. I'm not breaking your heart. I'm saving you from getting matched up with somebody that is not the right person for you. I'm not the right person for you. I feel like Gemini is putting it in perspective for them in a probably a much softer, much sweeter way than I just said this, but also real. And if Gemini is in Empress energy right now, they are nurturing, they are kind, but they're also truthful. And Empress does not give people false comfort. They'll help people to grow by giving them the truth. And I do think that Gemini is saying point blank, look, this is a me adventure. I'm going to do what I need to do. I'm in Empress mode. I'm building something for myself. I feel like Gemini could be wanting to start their own business. They have plans for their own life, and they're really not taking any like piggybackers with them. They're even people who get attracted to them and want to be a part of their life. Gemini's not really about that right now. I think they're pretty clear on what their goals are and where they're headed. And one of the big things that they learned, oh, okay, that makes more sense. If one of the big things that they learned is how to be a good empath, meaning I do care about you. It's why I care about you enough to tell you the truth. I'm not interested in being your man or your lady because I'm on my own path. I have a different goal, a different journey. It's a journey that only I understand. It's not something I need to explain to everybody else. But as an empath, I'm guided to energetically follow the pathway. But this time I'm following my empathic needs instead of sensing and feeling other people's empathic needs and then getting tricked into thinking I have to provide for them. That's a pretty big change for our character. Um, if this character has never quite until now walked a path that is really just about them and what they need to do, and them enjoying using their intuitive nature to listen to where they feel like they need to go in their own life, I think this could be really exciting. But they're also doing it without like the guilt or the manipulation tactic that I think other people used to, particularly whoever this is, this King of Cups used to be able to, I think, sway Gemini pretty heavily, either through guilt tactics. This doesn't have to be a lover. This could be like father figure. It doesn't have to be a masculine either, but we do have a masculine, so I'll leave it as such. Um, but it's somebody who used to be able to convince Gemini with kind of minimal guilt trip that they should do things for them. And that was before Gemini had stepped into this new energy and has said, actually, what I've realized is, I care about you. Of course I do. But I also care about me, and I also have a journey that I have to take. So you'll be all right without me. I didn't break your heart. You'll be just fine. It'll be just fine. You being upset isn't, God, there's no, I sound so rude when I say this, but it's a little bit like Gemini saying you being upset over this isn't actually my worry. You have to deal with your emotions. You wanting something that you can't have doesn't mean I now have to provide it to you. I mean, that's just the harsh truth. I don't think Gemini is saying it that way, but I think that that's the mentality of where they're at now. Just because somebody wants it from me and is mad or sad that they don't get it from me, that's actually their issue to deal with. They have to learn how to deal with disappointment. We all do, and I think it's, wow, Gemini saying, I need to go do some healing of my own. This is my time to focus on my growth, to focus on the journey that I need to take. And I feel like Gemini needed to kind of get away from everyone and have a little bit of silence so that they could just be like, oh, nobody's blowing up my phone. Nobody's going to guilt trip me. I finally am doing the things that I needed to. I needed to get into a space of quiet. This is what my intuition told me. I needed to focus for a little bit just on me. And I needed to kind of like follow that magic stream of creativity or whatever I feel guided to do. They're finally doing it. But they do have to dodge other people's like desire to grasp onto them. We have the Magician. So I think in this place of comfort, solitude, I don't know, I'm picturing maybe Gemini literally has to go somewhere, like take a trip, go somewhere, get out of reach, get out of range so everyone can't call them. Because this is like enjoying the blissful silence for just a minute. And both of these cards say it's a journey like through a forest or out into a canyon. I don't know if somebody's going like out to a national park maybe and getting a chance to just kind of like sit and soak up like the kind of like the energy of earth for a little bit. I mean, an empath needs to recharge. And to do that, they might need to pull earth energy, like literally through the rocks. They might have a very specific place that they need to go. Here they're leaning against kind of like a tree, or maybe it's kind of hard to tell because it's mystical, magical. We could call it a tree, or heck, this could be like within a cave and we're seeing like a stalactite or stalagmite that's, that they're leaned up against. It just feels like they needed to soak up some earth energy and stop dealing for just a little bit with humans, because I think Gemini's manifestation power was depleted, just like when our phone runs out of juice. I think this is them plugging back in to what they needed to do. But in order to do that, they had to make some changes. And they're going to get, juiced back up. And they're starting to make changes in their life to say, I know now that I have to nurture myself as well, that I can't get sucked into everybody else's circus all the time anyway. And when I get depleted, I need to listen to that voice that tells me I need to go do something for myself. I feel like this Gemini has probably given a lot of themselves, a lot of their time, a lot of their love to everyone at the expense of some things that they needed to do just for themselves. And I think it got to the point in this storyline where, because they had done so much for other people and depleted their ability to manifest for themselves, I think like their own life was kind of falling into, like, I don't want to say disrepair, but they were starting to realize, oh my God, I'm overwhelmed. I'm exhausted. I don't have any of the things that I need or want right now. And honestly, that's got to change. Like, this isn't sensible. I can't let everybody like drain my kingdom dry, because if somebody wants something from me, I don't have anything left to give right now. So I'm the first casualty that needs to be attended to. And that means I have every right to turn out and tune out and go to this canyon and sit on the earth and recharge myself. And then I need to focus on how to use that once my battery is recharged so I can start to really manifest what I need to. I think this is somebody who's leaving town for a few days. Of Cups, Two of Cups. This Gemini is ready for a really beautiful union. I do think that, I think the only reason that this Gemini might be single right now is because they gave so much energy to everything else. They didn't get a chance to look at their own needs. So they needed to do that first. And then one of the things on their list of, okay, now what is it that I truly want to manifest? It might be a surprise to them because before I said, oh, they want people not latching onto them right now. That part's still true. But what they're realizing is one of the things I would most like to have is the companionship, the partnership, the comfort zone of someone who's a friend, who's a partner, somebody that really shares my mind, shares my life story with me. That's actually what they're ready for. They're ready to manifest this. And I think while they've been so busy giving of themselves to other situations and other people, that was the thing they didn't have time for, was their own bond to build with maybe just one really special person. They're manifesting that now. This Gemini is ready to bring in, um, either to meet or to bring in their perfect person. Wow, we got Ace of Swords in the Chariot. It's coming in fast. This is a character who might have been single for the last 20 years, and all of a sudden, within the next 7 days, they might meet somebody that's just freaking amazing after they've given themselves this time to decompress, to cleanse their energy, and to realize what it is that they're actually ready for. We do have some Libra Taurus energy on this. We've got Cancerian showing up. I just did a Cancer video on my other channel, Tarot Dog. We've got Virgo Gemini as well on that Magician card. The empath kind of encompasses everything. And of course, this was a Gemini storytelling. But as far as like who their Two of Cups character was, or their Six of Cups, a twin flame, a soulmate, we got an awful lot of water as a whole here, because of that Chariot as well. And this being all water energy. But we also had Libra, Gemini, Aquarius coming off of that Ace of Swords. Whomever it is, it's just that they're ready to welcome in some really important connections in their life. And it could be a multitude. It could be a new group of friends that are kindred spirits and a forever partner, somebody who really feels like, wow, this is my soulmate. This is my twin flame or my Two of Cups person. I feel very differently about the twin flame topic. I don't agree with much of any of it myself. It doesn't mean I'm right. It's just I always try to just say Two of Cups on this instead of attaching the twin flame to it, simply because I object to a lot of it for my reasons. But please know however you want to think about that. It's totally cool. It's just, as the storyteller, I like to, just go ahead and say it's okay to have different ideas on stuff, different opinions about stuff. But I don't know. I liked this character kind of reclaiming their life first and foremost, and then recognizing that what they'd like is a compliment, not something that drains their energy, but something that adds value to their life. Someone who adds value. And I think up until now they've been pretty heavily drained. So a nice change in what is coming in for our Gemini on this. Tammy Secord, shout out to you in Sardinia. Oh my gosh, it's wonderful. I've never been to Sardinia. Sicily, I fell madly in love with. But I'm so happy you're there. That just thrills me. I'm so glad for you. Hi, KL, great to see you. Diana, thank you so much for the hearts. I love it with Juno Wild. The moving forward stories are really good, aren't they? I love those ones. You sweetheart. Thank you so much for being here. All right, you guys, take good care. I will see you all tomorrow. And Geminis, I'm sorry this one got so long, but I kind of had to make it up to you that you guys had to wait so long to get one in the first place. So thank you guys. You are probably my smallest watch group out of all the zodiacs. So thank you so much for being here. There's 66 of you in the room. I'm super honored you guys are here, especially so late at night. Thank you to you guys for giving it a thumbs up and subscribing. It means a world to me. That helps the videos circulate, and then eventually perhaps I'll have a larger watch group for you guys. I do give, like, if I'm going to have time to do extra videos, I do that for the bigger watch groups, because obviously they're the ones that are, you know, watching the videos more, supporting the channel more, and that are telling me that they want more videos. So just know, Geminis, if you guys want more videos, I am always happy to hear that. You know, I'm always happy to do more. It's just, if I don't get very many viewers, and I'm like, okay, they must not like my content. So I don't want to be that goofball who puts out a big old buffet that nobody comes to eat at. So if you guys want more, please don't be shy about letting me know in the comments. Dropping comments helps a channel to grow. It helps the videos to circulate. Also, the thumbs up, subscribing, all those things help. So just so that you guys know, I don't mean to leave you guys for the last or anything, but I kind of have to, because I've got to give the preference to the videos that are actually circulating and the people that are watching. So I thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. Those of you that are always looking for the Gemini videos, there's just not very many of you, and you don't tend to tell me very much. You're kind of a quiet group, just like how Cancerian is quiet. That's why I actually moved them over to my other channel, to Tarot Dog, because I was hoping that would let them not get swallowed up. And I might at some point move Gemini over there also, because that might be the issue here as well, that Gemini gets swallowed up in this channel where it gets kind of content heavy, and then you guys don't get notifications when these videos come out. Things like that can happen. But by all means, please do let me know if you guys are hungry for more videos. I try to give 2 to every zodiac every week. It's just, it's sometimes you guys are the last group to get yours. So anyway, thank you guys. And I hope that that gives you a little bit of insider information on, like how it all works. And if you guys want more, you can let me know. All right. Take care. Bye, everybody.